Hey guys, Scorpio. Um, I'm just here to talk about what my opinions are and my suggestions are for GMod 13 and what we should have in GMod 13. So probably my first point, and probably one of the most important points ever, would be that GMod 13 has to have wire, and I mean it has to have wire. I don't know if Gary Newman, who made Gary's Mod, doesn't see that having GMod 13 without wire would make the game more popular. Just forget it. GMod 13 would suck without wire. I mean, it would suck without any add-on, really. If GMod 13 doesn't allow any add-ons whatsoever, I'm afraid his the amount of people that would play it would probably be about 1,000 in the whole world, which is really shit and low. I mean, we cannot live without we cannot live without wire in Gary's Mod 12 or whatever. What the hell is this jerk face doing? So I mean, why we have the ability to make these amazing creations, whether it be vehicles, like aircraft, cars, all that sort of good stuff. I've been into RP servers, and they use wire to make automatic gun stores and all that sort of stuff. GMod 13 would suck without wire. I mean, it is by far the best add-on that GMod has to offer. It is the most popular. It is, it allows us to do so many things. If Gary Newman doesn't see that, well, take a second look. My next point would probably be what quite a lot of vehicle builders would recommend, which would be ACF. If you don't know what ACF is, it's a realistic vehicle mod that allows players to use realistic engines, realistic transmissions, guns, to build tanks, vehicles, aircraft if you really want to, and all that stuff. So if GMod 13 didn't have ACF, there's going to be some pretty mad people. I mean, there are people who I've seen who can't even make thruster engines, and well, they can, but they just choose not to because it's just too much work, or they're too heavy, or something like that. GMod 13 has to have ACF, really. I mean, otherwise it's just going to lose a lot of people who play it, and it's just going to end up like a shitty game that only noobs play. Sorry to any noobs who are watching this. So yeah, that's my point about ACF. Probably the next point that GMod 13 must have would be what was I going to say? Oh, it has to have precision alignment. There is no doubt about that. If GMod 13 didn't have precision alignment, everybody who makes people who make car bodies with precision alignment would just wouldn't even worry about playing GMod anymore. They won't even probably update Gary's Mod. They'll just delete it. I mean, I use precision alignment to make my engines. I use it to rotate the pistons in an angle like this W16, so that I get the best, the most accurate angle so that my engines perform perfectly, super smooth. You know, PA, precision alignment, it's used in so many servers. Practically you'd see, if you join any server that has wire and people make vehicles and stuff, they would use precision alignment. It's just the most popular add-on since wire, really. Well, wire is still the best, but precision alignment comes next, and then I suppose ACF does. Look, I think there's some people here. If I have a look in one of these garages over here, like this guy here, Nick. Nick's a really good guy, pretty good terrorist. No, just kidding. See, he's using precision alignment at the moment, and what he'll do is that once he's done with this side, he can mirror these props over to this side, which is, you know, is what every builder's, you know, best, I don't know, I suppose it wouldn't be dream, but, you know, it's the most easy to make a body. I mean, this is an amazing body, actually. I quite like this. You know, so we need precision alignment in GMod 13. What the hell is that jerk doing? Don't do that. Just explode him. Well, my next point would probably be, oh, what a dick. My next point would probably be, it's not actually out at the moment. Well, it's, you know, it's just my suggestions and what we think, well, what I think GMod 13 should have. And my first one would probably be, would be gearboxes for thruster engines. So I'll show you an example. So say we have this amazing engine here. This whole vehicle is amazing. If you haven't seen my video about this, I'll put that in the description. So say you have this here, a nice, you know, thruster engine, good power, good speed, and you know, you want the ability to change gear. And you know, with thruster engines, it's a bit hard to make a gearbox with just props, because I mean, there is a gear model pack, but you know, the gears slip, and you know, they're heavy, they make a lot of noise, and it's just a, you know, a big waste of time in making a vehicle. So we use what people call the BDD, the ball socket drive device, I think. I don't know, I can't remember, but I call it a CRD, which is not its proper name, but that's just what I call it, because the person who told me is called Calamity. I'll put a link to his channel as well. He makes some good vehicles. Anyway, back on track. So yeah, people who make thruster engines will be using a CRD or a BRD. I'm not telling you what they actually do because I can't be bothered. So what I think would be a really good benefit, if someone, just take this for an example. I'll go to some gearboxes. Say you get, it doesn't have to be ACF, I mean it shouldn't really be ACF, but anyway. So you have a 6-speed transaxle gearbox, and you think, oh, that would be a good idea if we had the ability to use a gearbox and link thruster engine's crankshaft up to that gearbox. And you know, that is an amazing idea. I mean, me and a couple of people on the server who have left at the moment, yeah, we had this really long chat that we think that would make GMod so much popular. It would just be an amazing achievement for everyone, really. Because if you guys don't know Mr. White, he's a good guy. He makes GMod things vehicles, and he's just he has totally forgotten about thrust engines, and he's just gone to ACF because of its realism. If someone was able to make an add-on like this in GMod 13, you would be my hero, and I'd be your biggest fan. I mean, you would be the best. This would be the best thing that has ever happened to vehicles with thrust engines. It would just make everyone so happy. Well, it would make me really happy because I can not, I can stand using a CRD, but I just have to have the ability to change gears with a thrust engine. My next point, which also involves ACF, would be the ability to choose what engine you want, really. So I'll just remove this once I stop. So say you have an engine, let me just pull out a random one, inline 4. So say you have this wee engine here. So you have a menu like this, you choose the engine, but instead of saying 1.5 i4 petrol, it will say i4 petrol or something like that. But then in here you have a list of engines that are inline 4s and within a certain CC range. So like you get an i4 and it's like this, but you get an engine that is similar to this size, so like a Honda VTEC engine, or I don't know, a Toyota engine for a Supra or something. But you have the ability to choose what engine you want with a list in here. So it has a list of all these engines, it could be Volvo, BMW, or anything that make inline 4 engines, but for all engines. So I mean, you could have a V8 and you choose, say, the basic 5.7 litre V8, and it had a list of, say, Chevy, not Volvo, all these engines that you could use, and it just changed the horsepower and the torque ratings and the RPM and the weight in that, but it had that same model. That would be, that would make so many ACF users really happy, in my opinion. I know it would make me happy. I mean, this server does have its own custom engines, like the Honda V16A1, which is the basic, which is the Honda engine that is used in the Honda Civic, and see how it is that size. It's the same with this Toyota engine that's used in practically all their Hiluxes. Well, not all their Hiluxes. That's that small inline 4 size as well. And then you go to the big V12s and that with the Detroit diesel, all that sort of good stuff. If ACF did that, that would be the best thing to ACF users, in my opinion. I mean, some people might disagree with me, but this is my opinions. Make your own video about your opinions. So I think that's about it for this video. Thank you for watching. Please feel free to share your own opinions in the comments. You can subscribe. So yeah, thanks for watching.